미디어 프로젝트 13주 1차 강의를 시작하겠습니다. 이번 시간에는 기하급수적 변화를 가져오는 기술들과 그 분야들에 대해서 알아보도록 하겠습니다. Demonetizing Everything이라는 주제로 피로 디아만다스가 강의한 내용을 보도록 하겠습니다.
At the end of every year, I sort of go back and look at what's happened during the past year. And I remember I did this in December of 2016, and I could palpably feel the speed at which things were speeding up. And I feel like this is something we're all going to be facing. My mom used to say that the world is getting faster, and I think that we're living in a time where what is possible is speeding up at such an accelerating rate that it's going to challenge our sense of stability.
기술의 발전 속도가 너무나 빠르고 가속화되고 있어서 우리가 안전하다고 느끼는 것에 도전을 받고 있습니다.
One of the things that's changing as well is the cost of things. And so we talk a lot about the notion that technology is going to cause us to lose our jobs, lose our income. But there is a countervailing force that's going on right now at the same time, which is the demonetization of living.
가장 큰 특징은 코스트가 크게 내려가는 것입니다. 삶의 디마니테이제이션에 대해서 이야기하도록 하겠습니다.
And I'd like to chat a little bit about that. And this is more to give you a sense and a feeling of something that perhaps you already know is happening, but to give you a way of looking at the world differently. So I believe we're rapidly moving towards a world where all of these things that we use, that we need to be alive, if you would, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, are very rapidly trending towards zero cost.
우리의 삶에는 다음과 같은 것들이 필요한데 이것들의 코스트가 점점 0에 가까워지고 있습니다.
And it's going to change capitalism in a very fundamental fashion.
그리고 이러한 변화들은 자본주의를 근본적인 수준에서 바꿀 것입니다.
So there's models for what this looks like, and one of the best models, believe it or not, is the early Star Trek world. Gene Roddenberry, who created Star Trek, viewed that world as being sort of post-capitalism, where money had very little use, very little value.
스타트rek에서는 포스트 캐피탈리즘 개념이 나오는데 이곳에서는 돈의 가치가 거의 없습니다.
Until the Ferengi appeared in Next Generation and screwed that all up. But at the end of the day, in a world in which technologies like the replicator exists, your ability to actually create something and have something where scarcity no longer exists, where everything becomes abundant,
기술이 발전하게 되어 scarcity, 희소성이 없고 abundance, 풍부함이 있는 사회를 구현한 것입니다.
changes the whole economic sphere of our world. One of the technologies that is sort of in the horizon that's taking us in that direction, of course, is the whole notion of nanotechnology, nanobots.
특히 나노봇에서 scarcity가 줄어들고 abundance가 늘어나는 그러한 현상이 일어나고 있습니다.
And this is sort of the Eric Drexlerian view of the future. And I know companies, Ray Kurzweil and I advise a company that's working in this specific area. And it's extraordinary to see where it can go in the not too distant future, like in the next 20 years, 30 years at the outmost.
앞으로 20년 내지 30년 동안 일어날 변화들입니다.
Where if I have a nanobot and I ask it to replicate itself 500 times, and I give you each one of those nanobots, you then have the ability to create anything you literally want.
나노봇이 있으면 여러 개로 복제할 수가 있고 그것으로 무엇이든지 만들라고 명령할 수 있습니다.
That is a function of only three things: the energy, the raw material cost, and the cost of the information.
이러한 생산에 비용이 필요한 것은 에너지, 원재료, 정보뿐입니다.
And so we're living in a world where you can have a Ferrari, a mansion, or literally anything for near zero cost. So that's sort of, if you would, the boundary condition that we're heading towards.
0에 가까운 코스트가 우리가 향하고 있는 바운더리 컨디션입니다.
We are, in effect, heading towards a world where a lot, not all things, but a lot of the basic things of life are going to be at near marginal cost.
우리가 살기 위해서 필요한 많은 것들의 마지널 코스트, 한계 비용이 0에 가까워질 것입니다.
And a lot of what's driving this is the fact that we have faster, cheaper computers that are fundamentally driving a whole slew of technologies.
기술 발전의 원인은 빠르고 값비싼 컴퓨팅 파워에 있습니다.
And as these computers trend towards faster and faster capabilities, you've seen this chart 1,000 times from Ray Kurzweil's book, The Singularity is Near.
컴퓨팅 파워가 기하급수적으로 증가하기 때문인데 이는 무얼스 법칙이라고 합니다.
Those technologies are all getting faster. And what we're seeing is what I call the 6 Ds of exponential growth. That we're going from a world where it used to look like this to a point where everything is becoming dematerialized, demonetized, and democratized.
이러한 현상은 dematerialize, demonetize, democratize로 표현할 수 있는데 탈물질, 탈화폐, 민주화에 해당됩니다.
And as we dematerialize things, as things go from hardware to bits, and the marginal cost of replicating those bits is near zero, and the marginal cost of transmitting those bits is near zero.
이것은 하드웨어에서 디지털 비트로 전환하면서 복사하고 전송하는 가격이 0에 가깝게 되기 때문입니다.
We end up in a very interesting world. So literally, if you think about it, in the back of abundance, I go and I add up what the cost of the various applications in my phone were just 20 years ago, right? Video camera, still camera, two-way video conferencing equipment, radio, if you would, TV through YouTube, all of those things.
스마트폰에는 카메라, 비디오, TV 등 수많은 어플리케이션들이 있습니다.
And so we're heading very rapidly towards a world of dematerialization. And what I'd like to do is just take a second and look at these different fields to look at how they're being dematerialized and how they're being demonetized.
몇몇 분야에서 어떻게 탈물질화되고 탈화폐화되는지 살펴보도록 하겠습니다.
So, of course, in communications and entertainment, we've seen a massive amount. Here are the numbers on communications. In 2010, we had 1.8 billion people connected on the planet out of roughly 7 billion. Today, it's roughly 3 billion people connected out of roughly 7.5 billion. By 2020 to 2025, we're going to have the explosion of a number of global networks.
2010년에는 전 세계 인구 중에서 18억 명이 인터넷에 접속할 수 있었지만 2022년에서 25년 사이에는 전 세계 모든 인구들이 인터넷에 접속할 수 있을 것입니다.
We've got Loon through Google. We've got Facebook with drones and satellites. We've got OneWeb by Greg Weiler and Richard Branson and Paul Jacobs that's launching a 900 satellite constellation delivering 400 megabits per second worldwide. You've got SpaceX and Elon Musk.
현재 전 세계를 커버하는 인터넷 기술 프로젝트로는 구글의 룬 프로젝트, 페이스북의 드론 인터넷 프로젝트, 리처드 브런슨 등의 원웹 프로젝트, 일론 머스크의 스페이스X 프로젝트 등이 있습니다.
Filing for a 4,425 satellite constellation. Effectively, what we're doing over the next 5 to 8 years is bringing 5 billion new consumers online. And these 5 billion new consumers are coming online at a marginal incremental communications cost.
인공위성 및 통신기술의 발달로 거의 0에 가까운 한계 비용으로 50억 명의 새로운 콘슈머들이 생기는 것입니다.
And they're coming online not like you and I did with AOL at 9600 baud. They're coming online at a megabit to a gigabit per second.
그들은 우리와 달리 초당 메가빗에서 초당 기가빗의 세상으로 들어오고 있습니다.
And interestingly enough, the question, okay, they're going to have connectivity, but they're already going to have these kinds of devices. And at the end of the day, my expectation is they will, and most people will have them for free.
기술이 발전하면 결국에는 모든 사람들이 이런 디바이스를 거의 무료로 가질 수 있을 것입니다.
Because as the cost of these devices get down to $10 or $20, unless you have one, I can't sell you anything. So I'm going to give you one of these devices so that you can buy things from me. Or the other thing I might get if I give you one of these devices is I get to collect the data. I get to collect and understand what you want because data is the new gold.
이러한 기기를 만드는데 비용은 $10에서 $20까지 내려갈 것입니다. 물건을 팔기 위해서 기기를 줄 수도 있습니다. 또는 점점 중요한 목표가 되어가는 소비자의 데이터를 모으기 위해서 줄 수도 있습니다.
So we're heading towards a world of ubiquitous global connectivity where the cost of that connectivity and the cost of the hardware is marginally approaching zero.
우리는 지금 전 세계를 거의 0에 가까운 한계 비용으로 연결해 나가고 있습니다.
We also have on the entertainment side, of course, we've had an explosion on YouTube. This is 2014, 300 hours of video per minute. In 2015, it grew to about 500 hours per minute. But this is interesting, right? YouTube today serves up 1 billion hours of free content per day.
유튜브의 콘텐츠는 기하급수적으로 증가하고 있습니다. 매일 10억 시간 이상의 무료 비디오 서비스를 제공하고 있습니다.
So we're living in a world where communication is marginally free, where entertainment is marginally free.
에너지의 마지널 코스트 또한 0에 접근해 가고 있습니다.
You know, we're living in a world where we have 8,000 times more energy hitting the surface of the earth from the sun than we consume in a species.
우리는 현재 우리가 필요로 하는 에너지의 8,000배를 태양으로부터 받고 있습니다.
And as it turns out, the poorest countries in the world are the sunniest countries in the world. An interesting lineup there that shouldn't be lost on you.
흥미로운 것은 가장 가난한 나라들이 가장 많은 태양 에너지를 받고 있다는 것입니다.
And as we look at this, 2016, the year that renewables were cheaper than coal, right? Coal will not ever recover. 25% of the world's power last year came from renewables.
이제 재생에너지 가격은 석탄에너지 가격보다 낮아지기 시작했습니다. 현재 전 세계 파워의 25%가 재생에너지입니다. 이 발표자는 신재생에너지에 큰 무게를 두고 있지만 에너지 전문가들에 따르면 신재생에너지는 아직 풀어야 될 문제들이 있습니다. 가장 대표적인 것이 Electronic Storage System, ESS인데 향후 이러한 기술들의 발전에 따라서 이러한 신재생 에너지의 운명이 결정될 것으로 보입니다.
Nations around the world are fully divesting from oil and gas. Scotland, 106%. Costa Rica, well over a year, running on renewables. Germany, in April, hit 85% of its electricity.
이 발표자는 독일에서 신재생 에너지 비율이 아주 높은 것을 이야기하고 있지만 그렇기 때문에 독일에서는 전기요금이 아주 비쌉니다. 따라서 전기가 많이 필요한 공장들은 해외로 옵쇼링을 할 수밖에 없는 상황입니다.
From renewables, you heard this from Hermes as well. India to only sell electric cars.
인디아는 2030년까지는 일렉트릭 카만을 팔도록 하는 야심찬 계획을 갖고 있습니다.
By 2030. As I fly, I'm a pilot, and as I fly over LA, when I look down over LA, I don't see the farms of photovoltaics or the farms of solar thermals. You see rooftops.
현재 하늘에서 바라본 LA의 지붕들인데 앞으로는 솔라 패널이 설치될 수 있을 것입니다.
And you see tar. And of course, what's interesting is that we're going to turn all of those areas into solar collecting, right? This is
프랑스의 노르만디에서는 1km의 솔라 로드를 만들었습니다.
a kilometer of solar road deployed in Normandy, and Tesla selling its solar rooftops.
테슬라는 솔라 루프타일을 개발했습니다.
You saw these numbers, the actual number now that Hermes mentioned at 2.4 cents per kilowatt hour. And of course, to have abundant near-free energy, you need storage. Now, this is the gigafactory out near Reno.
일론 머스크는 이러한 기가 팩토리들을 통해서 태양광 에너지를 저장하려고 하고 있습니다.
Elon's prediction that 100 of these gigafactories worldwide give us all the storage we need for a fully electric economy is pretty significant.
테슬라의 기가팩토리는 우리가 신재생에너지의 저장을 통해서 현 수준에서 얼마나 에너지 문제를 해결할 수 있는지를 알 수 있는 대단히 중요한 프로젝트입니다. 이 프로젝트는 전기 자동차의 보급화와도 아주 밀접한 관련이 있습니다. 관련 동영상을 보도록 하겠습니다.
I'm driving up to the Tesla Gigafactory right now, located outside of Reno, Nevada. It's huge. You can already see it from what feels like a mile away. It's that signature Tesla red that's outlining the top of the production facility. Let's go check it out. I'm getting rare access inside Tesla's Gigafactory. The name originates from the word giga, the unit of measurement representing billion. And as it suggests, the building is ginormous. Right now it's about 5.3 million square feet of operational space. Its current footprint is the equivalent to about 33 American football fields, and it's not finished yet either. Elon Musk, Tesla's co-founder and CEO, has referred to the Gigafactory as the machine that builds the machine. And it's all part of his master plan to make electric cars more affordable. It's planning to do that by mass producing its own batteries. Tesla says it currently produces more batteries in terms of kilowatt hour than all other car makers combined, making up about 60% of the world's lithium-ion batteries. As big as the building looks behind me, it only represents about 30% of the entire facility when it's fully built out. And it really does feel like we're in the wild here. You have wild horses over on my right. Even where I parked my car will eventually be more of the production facility. There's 7,000 employees working on site here. Things are really only just getting started. Once completed, Tesla's Gigafactory here is expected to be the largest building in the world by footprint. And while Tesla already has factories in California and New York, this is the first one that it's completely built from scratch. There are also plans to add gigafactories to Europe and China. At the start of the year, construction began on a third gigafactory in Shanghai. There's actually more spots for expectant mothers than just visitors. Tesla's Model 3, an electric sedan, is the company's first mass-market vehicle. Yet production here at the Gigafactory has encountered delays and some quality issues, which means output has fallen below expectations. Being able to smooth things out here is seen as imperative for Tesla. Before I enter the production facility, I have to wear these safety glasses and these safety boots as well. This factory produces Model 3 electric motors and battery packs, along with Tesla's energy storage products Powerwall and PowerPack. Panasonic is Tesla's exclusive battery cell supplier for Model 3, and its plant is technically part of the Gigafactory. This is where I start my tour. This is the area where Panasonic and Tesla meet. So all day long, these vehicles are delivering battery cells from Panasonic to Tesla, dropping them off, and then going back to Panasonic to pick up more. The entire process is completely automated. There's no human labor in this process.
어펜딕스입니다. 지금까지 시청하신 것으로 이번 차수의 수업이 인정됩니다. 기가팩토리는 리노 근처에 있는 리튬이온 배터리 및 전기자동차 어셈블리 공장입니다. 이 시설은 전기자동차 및 고정 저장 시스템용 배터리팩을 공급하기 위해서 지어졌습니다. 배터리의 핵심 기술은 파나소닉에서 제공을 하고 있습니다. 관련 동영상을 계속 보도록 하겠습니다. Each Model 3 vehicle requires more than 4,000 battery cells, and after the battery cells are assembled into modules, the modules are then assembled into packs. The handoff between Panasonic and Tesla occurs through these. They're what's called automated guided vehicles.
It's the equivalent of a driverless forklift, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like an autonomous car, right?
It's like an autonomous car, but it's a forklift.
Chris Lister runs operations here.
In order to transition the world to sustainable energy, we really needed to build this big, build this boldly, and really build as many battery cells as we possibly could to really accelerate this transition.
The factory operates 24/7, and Chris tells me he's seen explosive growth in production output and new product innovation over the past year and a half. Tesla expanded its workforce by 30% in 2018, but it's also announced company-wide layoffs multiple times as well, as it struggles to rein in costs while expanding in a relatively new industry. But hiccups at the factory have caused significant production delays and even sparked some safety concerns.
We're very committed to safety. You'll see things like forklifts, and we saw auto-guided vehicles. For those that have never been in a factory environment before, it's important to understand, how to operate safely. And as we scale up, it's really important to think through with safety in mind.
Safety reminders are posted throughout the area. I even noticed this sign as I enter the site. So who are the people working here?
The adjectives I would use to describe the people here: passionate, scrappy, ambitious, very excited to change the world.
But I don't see as many people as I expected. Well, that's because automation is everywhere you look.
I don't see a lot of human labor in this part of the factory.
This area is actually about 90% automated. Now, not every part of the factory is that way, but the way we design the drive unit, as you can see behind us, very modular stations that we swap in and out where, we've got redundancies. We have different technologies that we employ here that make the drive unit final assembly very automatable.
Chris tells me the area we're in is 90% automated, but they've had to back off in other areas and add more humans back in.
It's easier to grab things like hoses out of midair and attach them together as a person looking at those, as opposed to trying to get a robot to do that.
He says automation makes sense in portions of the production that are highly repetitive with less variables overall.
Not everything has to be automated to make an optimal end-to-end manufacturing solution.
I take a break from my tour because, well, it's lunchtime.
Apparently today there is a big sale on merchandise for employees, so there is a line out the door of people waiting to buy things like hats, gloves, shirts. I don't think that I'm eligible for an employee discount though. So it's lunchtime at the Gigafactory. In addition to the food trucks outside, there's also this cafeteria here where you could get things like soup, salads, but I'm gonna get a burrito bowl. Thank you. So lunch cost me $9.68. Where do I go? Okay, thanks. This is a lot of soda options. It says the Gigafactory here, but there's a ton of options of Jones soda. It's almost like the Giga Jones soda counter.
After lunch, I head to the rooftop to see how the factory is building its solar panels, although it's only just started.
Tesla says that once completed, the Gigafactory will completely run off of renewable energy, not just solar, but wind too. And once the production is finally finished, this is expected to be the largest rooftop solar array in the world.
That means 200,000 tiles on this roof alone. It aims to be a net zero factory when finished. That means the total amount of energy used by the building will be about equal to the amount of renewable energy created on site. I end the day where all the different pieces of manufacturing come together.
You know those rides at the carnival you pay to like flip you?
Yes, probably some of the same principles designed into those.
This is the final area where the drive unit is assembled.
And what you see behind us is a high-speed crane system where we're able to get different variants down to this floor very, very quickly. This elevator system goes up and down 3 floors, and it's basically an automated warehouse.
Once the battery packs and motors are completed, they're brought to this area where they're then loaded onto these semi-trucks behind me and then transported to Fremont, California, which is about a 4-hour drive from here. And then from there, they're assembled into vehicles.
Every hour, trailers get dispatched to California. Chris tells me that they're taking the things they've learned here to use in the new Shanghai factory. In fact, they're aiming to make these operations the model for all future gigafactories. Elon Musk says there could eventually be 10 to 12 gigafactories around the world.
This gigafactory is an exciting thing to be part of. And so many people have invested so much of their lives into making this successful. It is a very prideful thing. This is a great thing for the city of Reno. This is a great thing for the state of Nevada. This is a great thing for the world.
As I end my day taking a spin in the Model 3, I'm reminded of the reason why this entire operation exists in the first place. Elon Musk's ambitious plan for Tesla and its gigafactories is beginning to take shape, but with plenty of construction and adjustments still ahead, the road to achieving that vision has just begun.